Farm Missouri Valley Conference Tournament is brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By Budweiser, bright, crisp, clean, pure. This is Budweiser. This is beer. By Conagra Foods, maker of Banquet, Chef Boyardee, Ready Whip, and other favorites. By Pepsi-Cola, the official soft drink of the Missouri Valley Conference. And by Aeropostale, providing scholarships through sponsorship with athletically inspired, comfortable clothes at reasonable prices. Arch Madness. State Farm Insurance, our Missouri Valley Conference Tournament quarterfinal. The 2 seed, Southern Illinois, against the 7 seed, the Evansville Purple Aces. Let's check in now with our Bud Light starting lineups. A presentation of Bud Light. Great taste for your great times. And let's talk point guard. Evansville is playing better of late because of Jason Holzinger, the point guard for the Aces. And on the other end, Bryan Mullins has done a terrific job. When he stepped into the lineup and took over as the lead guard for Southern Illinois, their season changed. The head coach of the Evansville Purple Aces, Steve Murfield, in his 4th year. And you could argue that the best basketball the Aces have played during his tenure had been in the last couple of weeks. He's won 5 of his last 8 games. And on the other bench, Chris Lowry. Played 10 games as a player in Arch Madness with the Salukis when they made their run back in the mid-90s as the all-time SIU assist record in this tournament last year. As a very young coach in his first year, led the Salukis to the NCAA tournament and an NCAA win last year, going 1-1 in the Big Dance. Let's check in now with Charlie Spooner. It's Keys to the Game, brought to you by National City, where they want to make sure banking is simple for lives that aren't.
Establishing post play is very important. That's how Evansville was able to beat the Salukis before and then handle the pressure, and a lot of that falls on Holzinger, as you mentioned. For the Salukis, Chris Lowry's been saying heat them up, get the game going, play defense, and then muscle up, because the big guys, you know, they're going to go right with Webster and Strickland.
Well, you alluded to it, Charlie. Webster and Strickland were dominant. On February 21st, Evansville had arguably their best win of the year, beating Southern Illinois at Roberts Stadium. And the inside guys dominated for Evansville. Here's the series history. The Salukis had won 10 straight before that aforementioned win in Evansville on February 21st. Evansville has never won the tournament title. They were in the '99 finals under Jim Kriz. Southern Illinois had 4. However, they've not won since 1995. This has been the one thing that hasn't been on the Egyptian Dog resume in recent years. But going back to the inside game, Webster and Strickland, if you look at what they did, they combined for 45 points and 16 rebounds against an inside game of Southern Illinois that's really centered around Randal Falker.
The thing that's a little surprising, maybe not surprising, it probably should have evolved this way. Strickland early in the year wasn't quite the force he is now. We talked last night, Mitch. He looks like he's very confident, almost to the point where he's shooting the ball down at the basket. Webster, who early on had dominated the scoring, has struggled a little bit of late with 3 points in the last 2 ball games he's played.
This Egyptian Dog is the Valley's version of Snoop Dogg. Let's go to Tom Ackerman.
Well, Mitch, 4 straight conference titles, 4 straight #1 seeds before this year, but no victories in this tournament. And guard Tony Young admits that they use those conference titles as fallbacks. They used them as a cushion, if you will, and now they know they're as hungry as ever because they have to win ball games.
The Valley has made a big splash on the cover of the sports page of USA Today. Been featured in Sports Illustrated Sporting News. Thought to get 4 in the Big Dance, but nobody's for sure, and Southern Illinois could use a win. First possession of the game is Southern Illinois. Game on in the Valley.
A lot of banging in the post area right now. It'll be interesting to see how the game's going to be called.
Webster's going to bang you. If you get anywhere close to him, you're going to get hit.
He's getting his money's worth.
Shaw, good take to the basket. Strickland goes down hard.
Only 3 on the floor on the first rebound.
Just the precursor of things to come. Tatum way out on Ainsleyman. Eli drop kicks it out of bounds.
I think it happens, Mitch, and we talked about it yesterday when we were watching the game. When people speed you up and get you out of your rhythm and you try to go places you can't get, That's exactly what happens, and that's why the Salukis are successful with their pressure.
In case you don't know much about Southern Illinois, they are 5th in the nation defensively. They only give up 57 per game. Spoon, 17 of their 29 opponents have been held to 55 points or less.
They'll defend you now at every position.
The question for the Salukis is, can they score?
That's been the problem, and you look at him and you think, I know this guy can make this shot, but the ball just hasn't gone in the hole for him. And one thing about the Salukis, they shoot the ball. There are some teams on those defensive lists that hang on to the ball on offense, but not the Salukis. There's
your sports cover story on USA Today about the nation's best non-BCS conference, the Missouri Valley. There's a bump. Mullins was out there all over Jason Holzinger. Mullins picked Holzinger in the first 2 possessions of the game in Evansville, and then Holzinger kind of settled down, but Mullins leads the Valley in steals.
Holzinger is a very good ball handler. That's the thing about him, and he's tough. He accepts challenges. 2 pretty good freshmen looking at each other eye to eye there, Mitch.
There'll be many battles between these two, and Mullins picks him again.
Well, that's the type play that you want if you're Chris Lowry. And now it'll be interesting to see if they can get something out of the interior players for Southern Illinois.
Try to sneak one inside to Falker. Last touch by Matt Webster of Evansville. Stay tuned for the halftime report, brought to you by Poor Richards, with 2 great St. Louis locations. In Fenton at 141st and Bowles, and Eureka near 109th and Interstate 44. Poor Richards serves over 2 tons of wings every week. Check out Poor Richards' menu at poorrichardsstl.com. And Tatum knocks down the first shot of the game.
And count the screen by Falker, because that gets the open shot.
Tatum has struggled shooting the basketball since about mid-January. Still averaging 15 a game. That's good for 4th in the league. Strickland, and this is the guy that's been lighting it up for Evansville.
He's confident, Mitch. He catches the ball, and he looks like he's planning to make it. Tatum just got poked in the eye on that, too, so can't make him feel good.
Tatum again, one-eyed, in and out.
How many times have you seen a guy get poked in the eye, hold his eye, and then go down and shoot the ball?
Plays the one-eyed jack, trumps him.
Salukis really close out. Young sitting right underneath here.
Eli's a freshman and a bit nervous against Tony Young, the all-conference selection. Falker, great defense, really pushed Strickland out, Spin.
Yeah, Strickland had a good idea there, but got bumped away, and it would have been a good time to throw the ball out.
There's a walk. Let's take a look at Jamaal Tatum.
Came right through the pick. And that's where he got hit in the eye.
Yeah, Anslinger. Like he slinged him.
I don't think we've commented enough on Anslinger's defense, Mitch. He's quick defensively. He's getting where he belongs and doing a nice job.
Falker with the hustle, and I guess you're going to catch it in the post. You better run out there mid-court because you're going to get denied.
He's going to get about 1 steal a game, and it looks like you can see why. Effort. Holzinger being left-handed, I think it behooves you to push him to his right.
And Mullins is left-handed too. You got 2 freshman left-handed guards. You don't see that every day. Strickland's going to like this matchup.
Had it in the basket, it just didn't stay down.
Young, bouncy in the lane. Tony Young, his first bucket.
Hard shot. The defense was there. That's just a good offensive play.
Young, a junior from suburban Chicago, an All-Valley first-team selection. 4-2 Egyptian Dawgs.
pace seems to be a little quick. Everybody's moving just a little faster maybe than what they need.
Right now, Eli is bothered by Tony Young.
Well, there's no question. And when you have to just lay your ears back to get somewhere, that's how you get turnovers.
4-2 Southern early in our third quarterfinal game.
Early lead for Southern Illinois in our third quarterfinal game. Time now for our Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete. It's Indiana State Tyson Schnitger, a junior from Robinson, Illinois. Schnitger was an honorable mention Valley Scholar Athlete in 2005 and is currently carrying a 3.3 GPA in business management. Academics are important to the Missouri Valley Conference, so let's salute Tyson Schnitger, today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete.
Scott, his team eliminated earlier today. Great effort against the 1 seed Wichita State, but faltered at the end. Wichita State and Bradley have advanced. Bradley in a knockdown drag out, beating Creighton in the 4-5 game.
Defensive change here, a little zone look.
Shaw. Strickland thought he had it blocked. Instead, Paul Jansen calls a foul on Bradley Strickland.
Good interior passing by Falker. He hasn't taken a shot yet, but he set a screen that helped for a basket, and then that pass gets a free throw.
Shaw, very good shooter. 81%. Look at Steve Murfeld, native of Bloomington, Wisconsin. Famous at Hampton when he upset Iowa State in a 15-2 game in the NCAA tournament. Shaw splitting a pair at the line. Saved by Wesley Clemens.
Clemens ought to get to shoot after that hustle play.
He's giving them good minutes. Out of bounds to Evansville.
Tatum's got the honors now as the heat continues on Holsinger. I'm sure the thought is also that maybe you wear him down a little bit playing 2 games in this shorter period of time.
There's a battle going on underneath.
Only 1 foul for that.
Matt Shaw was banging with Webster. We said that Webster will give you a little WWF. He just can't take a chair out there and hit him over the head.
The thing about him now, he's that play lasted, that wrestling match lasted for about 10 seconds.
Evansville doesn't have football or wrestling, but Webster could be on both those teams if they had it. Holsinger, good fake.
Jones got things a little bit out of spacing. Good screen by Shaw. No basket.
Clemens chases his own miss. He's hit 9 of his last 17 from 3 prior to that misfire. Clemens misses one, Spoon. You better check him off.
He's
going to find it. Great feed. Shaw in the short corner, not there. Guess he got the board.
Clemens. Young's done a good job on Eli so far.
Well, Evansville did win in Evansville. There's Anslinger, nice little floater in the baseline. But Evansville in Carbondale, Charlie, could muster only 38 points against this Southern Illinois team.
This one about the second pass that's going to the post. Falker wants somebody to shoot it. He thought he had an assist there.
A careless error. Southern Illinois turns it over. Almost 7 minutes deep into this one. Valley Basketball brought to you by Aeropostale. Athletically inspired, comfortable clothes at reasonable prices. For store locations, you can go to the website at aeropostale.com, providing scholarships through sponsorship. Evansville can take the lead here. They can score and a walk. Maurice Blakey into the game. And the junior college transfer turns it over.
Anytime you check somebody into this game or a game that's this contested, turnover is going to be an issue for them. It takes a little while to get in the flow of things. We used to stick our point guard in at the 2 guard just to let him get loose.
A miss by Tatum. And a rebound for Evansville. Hanslinger just hit that same shot.
He's got that down. Somebody better get on his right hand when he's on the right-hand side of the floor, because that's 2 baskets.
Averages 10 a game. Evansville leading by 1. Evansville whipped Illinois State in the 7-10 game last night.
Playing pretty soft off Mullins to keep him from driving.
Well, he's really struggled shooting the ball in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Eli, good to the hoop. Shy Eli, the freshman from Indianapolis, with the bucket.
If he gets started now, he can hang some points up pretty quick.
Member of the all-freshman team in the Valley, Eli. In fact, 2 of the 5 are on this Evansville team. There's a foul underneath. If it's on Strickland, it's its second. 8-5, Evansville. Evansville and Steve Murfield making it hard on Southern Illinois. Let's check in now with the Valley standings, brought to you by Ameren, a legion of men and women, making sure the nightlights of the neighborhood flicker to life when called upon. Visit Ameren.com to learn more. 365 and then some. Spoon Evansville made a little push at the end of the year to get to this point.
Well, as you said, they're playing their best basketball of the year, maybe the best basketball they've played over the last few years. They're getting inside play, and Holsinger really does a lot of good things for them in terms of organization.
Evansville back to the man. Young strong off the glass. Tony Young with 4.
To really be successful, the Salukis need to get some things out of their defense. Like almost there.
Petty off the bench. Justin Petty with the miss.
Falker with another rebound.
Into it 9 minutes. Tatum, Falker. Foster, his roommate, or was teammate inside with the follow.
Good defensive pressure again by Mullins.
9 rebounds for Southern Illinois, many of those on the offensive end. Eli, quick.
He earned that basket. That was a hard basket there.
Hit 15 last night. Mullins to the rack. A step out by Jamaal Foster.
Well, Foster's trying to assert himself a little bit in this game. He's playing well.
Look at Chris Lowry. Played here at Southern Illinois, part of a Arch Madness run. Here's a look at Shy Eli. Now, 2 of the 5 all-freshmen team from the Evansville Aces, Jason Holsinger and Shy Eli. His sister played at Tennessee, was an All-American.
He's an All-American, that's right.
Now in the WNBA with San Antonio. I can imagine Steve Murfield in the living room. Shy, we want you, but your sister got any time?
Defensive pressure gets to the Aces a little bit there.
10-9 Aces. Under 10 minutes now left in the first half. Tatum against the zone. Foster with the offensive board. Held ball. The arrow points to Evansville.
Again, Foster couldn't finish, but he got a good offensive rebound there. Just got a little too far under the goal, went right back into hands, and there goes the jump ball.
Some decent defense by Victor Gomez, a junior college transfer for the Aces. Did not play in last night's game.
He was banged up a little earlier in the year. He missed a ball game or two.
This is Gomez. Foster against him. Stallbirds. And the rebound of Southern Illinois.
And the odd man out against this pressure defense is Webster. Not able to get the ball to him.
Shaw. Going to Evansville. These two schools have warred for a long time. You can go back to the 50s and 60s in the old college division of the NCAA. A-Rad McCutcheon of Evansville, Harry Gallatin, Jack Hartman. They used to wail on each other. Now in the same league. Webster forcing, hitting.
That's one of the few touches that Webster's got.
He came into this, Charlie, 1 for 14 in his last 2 games. Of course, he's had a lot of attention when he catches the ball in those last 2 games.
I don't think that's a shot that Chris Lowry wanted right there. He sent him 2 men to get him.
Gomez clanks that one off the back iron, and Southern Illinois has it back.
The pace of this game is pretty frantic, really.
Neither team able to get any kind of run here. Shaw. Tatum with the tip out. And Tatum with the shot. Jamaal Tatum with 4.
Tatum signaling that he was fouled. I always thought it was bad form to do that after you made it. How far would that ball have gone over the goal if he hadn't been hit?
Salzburg. Gomez missing a tip. And Mullins called for the carry. Fourth turnover on Southern Illinois. Aces of Evansville leading the Salukis. Jamaal Tatum trying to get his team on a roll.
Evansville with an early surprise as quarterfinal action continues at Savas. A reminder, stay tuned for the halftime report brought to you by Port Richards with 2 great St. Louis locations, Fitton at 141 in Bowles and Eureka near 109 and Interstate 44. Port Richards serves over 2 tons of wings every week. To check out Port Richards menu, visit portrichardsstl.com.
Look at Steve Murfeld, his team winning 5 of its last 8 games. Prior to that, 8 straight losses. The difference is they're defending better. They're last in the league in scoring defense, giving up 72 a game. But that's a stat that's somewhat skewed by what happened earlier in the year, not in February.
Well, they're playing man a little, zone a little, changing things up. Oh.
Mullins again makes it hard on Holzinger and forces a second turnover in the point guard freshman battle.
5 count is something that it's very difficult to get because oftentimes officials will break the count on you. That one stayed.
Gomez stays in the game for Evansville. Falker finds Tony Boyle. Held ball. It's going to Southern Illinois. Here's Tom Ackerman.
Well, Mitch, Steve Murfeld was asked recently about momentum. Does his team have momentum coming off that win recently against Southern Illinois? He says, no, we don't. He says at this time of year, everybody has fresh minds. Not fresh bodies, but fresh minds. Everybody's 0-0. Now we're 1-0 coming into this game.
Young in the corner. Not there on 3. And Webster averages 7 boards a game. Rips it out of the sky.
earlier in the year, trailing Webster was a good option, but people are, I think, catching on to that because he made a lot of threes.
Reach around, Tony Boyle. The freshman fouling, trying to get an eye Webster. First foul, 3 team fouls on the Salukis. Only 5 fouls called in the first 13.5 minutes.
For a game, again, that's contested as hotly as this one is, very few fouls called on either team. Nearly an overplay that time.
Webster. Salukis making it hard on him. Tatum off the skip. Got it. Jamaal Tatum is only 24% in conference play from 3, but you get him going, look out.
Yeah, and give Falker some credit then. He caught the ball on the inside, made the defense react to him, and then it was skipped out.
Foul away from the ball, more wrestling.
I think that Webster sort of attracts a little bit of a wrestling mentality.
You know, I feel sorry for the ball when he catches it. You ever seen him catch the ball? He just pounds it.
Hold still. I'll be back to talk to you in a minute.
He was from Sheridan, Indiana, just outside the burbs in Indianapolis. He and Holzinger both played small school Indiana basketball. Holzinger, the point guard. The lapel, Indiana, and there's a walk, Eli.
Well, you can see why Tony Young is on the all-defensive team. Closes out, gets into you, and I mean absolutely torments you.
He's done it for 3 years. You know, Young and Tatum, we talked about it yesterday at the Valley Banquet, but to lose Stetson Harrison and Darren Brooks, those guys' roles have changed in Tatum and Young from being complementary guys to they have to get it done for this team.
Young has really improved his game. Tatum came in with a reputation of being a shooter. In Young's case, he's had to work at it.
Tatum just inside the three-point line.
Just what you talked about, Mitch. If he gets on a roll now, he can hang a bunch in a short period of time.
He had 37 in a game earlier this year. They try to go high-low. Webster's a bit banged up. They tried to go into Strickland.
Here's the Salukis with, there's your screen again, and there's the open jump shot. Credit your big man.
Was that Falker with the screen again? Well, he is a screening devil in this game. 4 for 8 is Tatum from the field.
And he's done all the other things. Tried to pass the basketball like he did right there.
Tony Young hammered from behind. Anslinger did not check him off, and Tony Young's going to get free throws. And Young, just in case you're wondering, one of the best in the league at the line at 88%. However, Blake Ahern of Missouri State is in this league. 88 doesn't even get you near the top. Ahern will go down as the best free throw shooter in the history of Division I basketball.
And we saw Ahern miss 2 in a row, which people are still mumbling about.
And a meteor fell from the sky right after it happened. Young hits 1 of 2. Salukis up 5, their biggest lead.
Hard to run offense against the Salukis.
Spoon, it is a demolition derby in the lane with Webster right now. Seeing body parts fly out of there. Eli banged as he missed the shot.
Well, Boyle is seemingly up to the challenge of the tussle.
Young. Falker is working overtime.
He scored with his left hand, which is what we've seen him use, is his left hand. He's very effective with that. This lead's gone to 7 now.
5, 6 rebounds for Randal Falker. That was his first points. But it bears repeating. We've talked about the improvement of the big men in this league. We've seen it with Strickland the last couple of weeks for Evansville. But Falker is right in there with Paul Miller of Wichita State and Anthony Tolliver of Creighton in the way his game is shot off the charts.
Elevated for sure. And I think you've got to think a little bit about the whole Salukis ball club. There's nice seniors out there. And for this basketball team to be finishing tied for second in the league this year, it's a great job by the coaching staff over there.
People talk about how good the league has been this year. It was second in the RPI for a long time. Now it is 6th, still ahead of the Pac-10, the nation's best non-BCS conference. And Charlie, most of the players come back next year.
That's the amazing thing. Usually when you have this type of explosion, it's usually all seniors. Well, no, not this case.
Coming up next, the last of our quarterfinal games, and get ready for this one. Northern Iowa and Missouri State in a 3-6 game.
Not a senior on the floor for Evansville right now either. Not a senior on the floor for the Salukis.
Webster strong with the catch and a foul on Southern Illinois, but Jamaal Tatum right now the difference in the game for Southern Illinois. Oh, the waiting. When you're in the 3-6 game, you wait all day. Northern Iowa's waiting for the next one. They'll be playing Missouri State. Here's Southern Illinois leading Evansville by 7 late in the first half. When Metro Sports takes its television cameras on the road, it considers these hotel properties its home away from home. Call these hotels or visit the websites of these properties when following your favorite team.
And you're wondering, how do you lead a game when you're shooting only 27%? Well, you rebound the ball, 11 offensive rebounds for the Salukis, and you guard the dickens out of people.
Charlie, they have 3 different guys on the Saluki team that has 3 offensive rebounds.
They're after the ball. There's no question about that.
They can deal with Webster in there. Going to get fouled. Shaw has picked up the foul. One thing Webster has done, he's been a foul magnet. He has now drawn 5 fouls, 3 on Tony Boyle and 2 on Matt Shaw.
Well, he makes contact. He finds you and he bumps into you, and he doesn't get every call either, Mitch. That's the thing about it. Now here, trying to play him one-on-one and not leave people, and he turns right in and gets the foul.
There's a look at Matt Shaw. He's asking the bench for some body armor so he can deal with Matt Webster.
He's wondering how I could get a foul and get hit this many times.
Well, Webster's been fouled. That is the 193rd attempt by Matt Webster at the foul line this year. He's closing in on 200 tosses.
And he doesn't always get the calls because he's so big and strong.
Zings it in there. He's got 4 points, 2 out of 2 at the line. He was big against Southern Illinois and Evansville in that win on February 21st. 26 points and 8 rebounds.
He's got to pick it up a little bit because Strickland's got the 2 fouls and has to sit and watch.
And Evansville employing a 1-3-1 here now.
And trapping a little bit out of it also. It's a little different than the 2-3, which was a little more passive.
Young waiting on it. Robbed by the rim. Falker is everywhere. Is there 3 of him out there?
There's one real good one.
The Snoop Dogg look-alike. All over the floor for Southern Illinois.
Nice cut by Mullins.
Mullins will get free throws, finding the void in the 1-3-1.
So often guys will just stand and wave their arms and stare at the man with the ball. Mullins knows how to play this game. Cuts into the open area and then makes a play.
Craig Pfeiffer with the foul. And only the 4th team foul against the Aces in the first half. Mullins just 62% at the line. Boy, his shooting really fallen off. 6 of 22 from 3 in league play. And at the line just 62%. Foster, not Falker, got this offensive board. That is 13 offensive rebounds in the first half.
That just drives a coach crazy. Or crazier, whichever you want to be.
Mullins to the rack.
Oh. I don't know where that shot came from. You missed 2 free throws standing there with no one on you and then hit that shot.
That's from the noon game with the Downers Grove guys in the burbs of Chicago. 7-point lead, Southern Illinois. Webster pounds that ball, goes to the rack, slips a half Nelson. There's a foul. Pfeiffer's calling. Called for the foul. His second.
Here comes Mullins again. He's thinking pass, I believe, but there's really no one to throw it to. Why not?
It's a fairly athletic move by the lad.
Yes, it is. It's a horse play.
Stayed in the air a while. 90 seconds left in the half. 7-point lead, Southern Illinois.
Man defense now, which lets Falker shoot some, get some screening done.
And that was Tony Young's clue to go turn the corner and go to the basket. Greg Pfeiffer has picked up 3 lightning quick fouls for the Aces, and Tony Young to the line.
The points are hard to come by. Everyone knows where everyone else is going, knows what everyone else likes to do. And the games are important. One and done. That's where you are now, so maybe a little extra energy being expended.
Tony Young has missed 2 free throws. 2 out of 4, and a throwback in by Foster.
I'm telling you, another offensive rebound. Webster just did the bulldozer coming down the middle of the floor right there.
He is a snow plow. Okay, let's watch this miss and the offensive rebound and the reaction of Steve Murphy.
Shucks.
Displeased?
Someone is going to hear about this at halftime.
Right now he's turned on his assistants for the moment.
Who's in charge of rebounding?
You're talking 14 offensive rebounds, not total boards, offensive boards. Shy Eli to the line. This is 1-1 for the freshman. 66% at the line, the young freshman. 2 big free throws in the final minute in the win against Southern Illinois on February 21st at Roberts Stadium in Evansville.
This game will probably right now come down to 2 possessions for Southern and 1 for Evansville, barring something unforeseen or a really quick shot.
Webster, that's an offensive foul. And Webster, Falker's called for the foul, but Webster caused it.
Let's see what we've got right here. Well, that wasn't their best scrum, I'll promise you.
No, that was fairly lighthearted. Remember Drago and Rocky IV? I think Matt Webster would take him. Where's he at? 8-point lead, Southern Illinois. Evansville turns it over.
And it's going to be this, just as we thought. Now this should be a last shot attempt for Southern. And they're thinking, use this timeout and go in either 8 ahead or 10 ahead.
Steve Murfield's mood has not improved. Randal Falker runs to the other end with 2 points and 7 boards.
Murfeld is not putting on a dance clinic. This is not Dancing with the Stars. That was his show of the electric slide. He thinks people are getting into the legs of his singing.
Paul Jansen, talking about wrestling. He might have cauliflower ear. Well, this one's over. Steve Murphill's got a little something going, though, with the Aces. There's the turnovers. That and the offensive boards by the Salukis. The story of this game so far. But the young guys, he's got a little base going here now. He's got something to work on off of.
Yeah, if you're Evansville University, you have to take heart in this. This is a young ball club, and they play extremely hard.
Could be a giant win for them if they could upset the Salukis, who have been an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament for 4 consecutive years. The Salukis. Whips one inside. Great feed by Mullins.
May have started to play a little bit too quickly, because now there's going to be, you're giving a possession back to Evansville if you're Southern that you prefer not to. Falker, not a great free throw shooter in conference play, shot 50%. So this could be a big turnaround right here.
And 54% for the year when you take in the non-conference games as well. Gomez back in for Evansville. You always hear the term good foul. That might have been a good foul for Evansville. Falker 3 points. See if the Aces get a decent look here.
Fouls to waste, I think.
Holzinger. Blocked by Foster. Gomez. No. 3 attempts, all blanks for the Evansville Aces. And Southern Illinois at halftime leads by 9, 25-16. Let's go to Tom Ackerman.
Coach Chris Lowry, your defense good enough in the first half for you?
We played hard, and that's all I can ever ask my kids to do.
And what about the experienced guys on this team stepping up early?
Well, we got to have them step up because they've been here before.
Thanks. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Chris Lowry, an intense young man. Our chat with the coaches all year long brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. Right now, all the difference has been the rebounding prowess. 25 first half rebounds for Southern Illinois, 14 on the offensive end. Back at Savage Center, St. Louis, our third quarterfinal game being led by Southern Illinois. The other winners, Bradley and Wichita State. Let's go to Tom Ackerman with Steve Murfeld.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Down 9 at the break. What can you do to turn this thing around?
Well, obviously, off second chance points and they offensive rebound, had 14 offensive rebounds. I thought we did a good job initially. We got to finish possessions with defensive rebounds, and we didn't do that in the first half.
Thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, all year long, our chat with the coaches brought to you by Mercy Health Plans, an innovative health management company empowering members to make healthy choices. The way we care makes all the difference. The spoon with Southern Illinois getting 14 offensive rebounds and a 9-point cushion. Now they made it hard on Evansville and Carbondale. In fact, Evansville only had 38 points. If you're Evansville, how do you try to get to the goal and cut into this lead?
I think the main thing you've got to do, you've got to get the point guard maybe slowed down just a little bit and get a little more organization in your offense. He's had a half to adjust to that, and then screening off the board, I think it will be an issue. If you're Southern, though, Rich, you've got to worry about, can you recapture the energy? You've gone in at halftime, and a lot of times you lose your edge.
Hard to do, only because you played so hard in the first 20 minutes. In the game in Evansville, won by the Purple Aces, Webster and Strickland combined for 45 points and 16 rebounds. Spoon in the first half, between the two, 6 points, 5 boards.
Foul trouble limited Strickland, and that hurt him. He looked like he might be on his way to a pretty good start tonight. How he could have foul trouble and Webster have foul trouble is beyond me. Because Webster certainly gets his money's worth. Tell you what, he's a tough kid. Every team would like to have him.
He's got 2 of the SIU guys in foul trouble, Shaw and Tony Boyle. First possession of second half belongs to Evansville. Webster, bodies flying again.
Can't you just see halftime? Who's got him? Not me. They're in there drawing straws to you as to guard Webster. Oh, nice. Good defense by Eli.
Turn the tables on Tony Young this time.
That's one thing about young guys, they learn stuff.
You pick me, I pick you. Anslinger. He has 4 of the 16 points on those little short corner flings he had in the first half.
And he got to go to his right hand again. That's where he got his 2 baskets, Mitch, was going to his right off the move.
Tatum lightning quick to the basket, and Anslinger pulls him down hard.
I think there's a little bit of frustration with Anslinger then because he got hit on the other end that he felt, and this time you get beat. Just make sure that the ball doesn't get to the goal.
Southern Illinois is a hard team to out tough now.
Yeah, I don't.
You're getting a tough battle.
I'd say you better bring your lunch if you want to scrap it out with these guys because they're not going anywhere.
Tatum with 10 points. Again, 4th in the league, averaging 15 points a game. Saw Chris Lowry, assistant under Bruce Weber, then went with Bruce, University of Illinois, and then when Matt Painter got the Purdue job, Chris sitting in the big chair.
Finding the way to get a basket now is very, very important for Evansville.
A double-digit lead for the Salukis, and a turnover by Strickland.
Hosinger got hung up, contact with Mullins and the screen, and pass just went over his head.
Young. More offensive boards for Falker in Southern Illinois. You're fighting, you're dodging darts if you keep giving Young that shot.
Yeah, because he's going to make it. And the thing that happens when it comes off a second, see, there's Steve Murfeld is so upset because that came after a rebound, another offensive rebound.
And you know, during the halftime, the Aces did discuss rebounding. 30-16, Southern Illinois threatening to run away. Tony Young, his 63rd three-point make of the year. Mitch Holthus back with Charlie Spoonhour in St. Louis. Southern Illinois threatening to run away, leading by 14 early second half. Here's our Casey's General Store. Scores from earlier today brought to you by Casey's General Store, a convenience store and a whole lot more. It's Casey's General Store. Spoon, we have 2 precincts counted for.
Wichita State, a win that I don't think surprises anyone. It was tough for a while. And then Creighton led much of the ball game, and then Bradley just wore them down. Bradley's got a lot of weapons.
And a very hot team. 9 wins the last 11 games going into the semis tomorrow. Webster powers one up in an and one opportunity.
That's pretty nice right here. Double team comes. Webster's strong enough to shoot through the double team.
Matt Shaw got a nosebleed too after three-point play. Webster has 7 points. There's Matt Shaw coming out. He got popped in the nose by Webster when Shaw fouled him. Looked like Matt Shaw turned to Falker and said, "Tell you what, you guard him and I'll help on him."
I like that idea better.
Evansville needed a three-point play and they got it to get within 11. There's Matt Shaw trying to get the bleeding stopped.
And the foul was on us, he said.
I got the foul. I think there's an imprint of Matt Webster's head somewhere in there. Pressed by the Aces. Young, and they leave Falker open underneath, and he couldn't catch it.
Maybe a little turn around in the game here.
And a bump by Falker, who was hedging out on Holsinger.
Chris Lowry, I think, is a little frustrated that we didn't get the step up by his center then. That's supposed to be an aggressive play by the center.
Falker now has 2 fouls. We've seen it before. Southern Illinois needs him on the floor. Holzinger deep three, barely kissing the rim. We have a collision. Strickland runs into Tatum's shoulder.
That's a hard way to pick up a third foul right there, a hustle play.
That's a two-way hurt right there.
Oh, boy. Hurts you both. You're exactly right. Hurts you both ways.
Well, Strickland had been dominant. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks against Indiana State. 2 points in this game and 3 boards.
I don't think Southern's enjoying the pressure right now. They've made it through it once, but I don't think they enjoyed the look.
Tatum right around D-line. There's a foul on the freshman. Jamaal Tatum to the line with a couple here for the Salukis.
Conference play, he shot right at 80%. So he's not the one you want shooting him if you're the Purple Aces.
(32-19) Southern Illinois. Still early in the second half. Wichita State and Bradley already in the semifinals.
Holzinger a little out of control again.
Webster. That one was forced.
Tatum didn't look like there was enough air in the ball.
Oh, Webster had been pounding on it. Young missed the three. It was set up pretty nicely and couldn't knock it down.
There's the double team that usually comes with a high screen.
Eli fouled by Tatum.
A few more fouls this half than there were in the first half.
Holzinger on the inbounds play. Still has yet to score. He can score at 28 against Wichita State.
They got the ball up there in good shape. It's just off by a little bit. Shaw can play off Falker. Or excuse me, Webster can play off Falker and give help.
Young, nice take in the lane. Tony Young has 11 points. He and Tatum have combined for 24. The Saluki 34. Holzinger uses the Webster screen to get his first bucket of the game. And that's a good sign when the old snowplows in there clean out about 3 guys. Tatum to the basket.
And if this gets into just trading baskets, it's not going to favor Evansville.
Another war inside. Webster and Falker. And it's on Falker, and that is his third. 15-point lead for Southern Illinois. 14:50 to go in the quarterfinals.
Southern Illinois with a 15-point lead here in the second half of Game 3 of our quarterfinal with over 5,000 hotels to choose from. There's bound to be a choice hotel wherever you're headed. Book your stay at any Comfort Inn, Comfort Suites quality. Sleep in Clarion Mainstay Suites, Econo Lodge, or Roadway Inn by calling 1-877-240-2929 or visit choicesportstravel.com and get your best internet rate guarantee. We'll see you there.
Very physical game here. Southern Illinois and Evansville. Strickland. Webster, great inbounds play. And Webster's going to get 2 free throws.
Nice job off the inbound. Nice pass from Strickland.
It's one of those, if you foul him and you're a guard, you're going, that wasn't me, because you know there's going to be some retaliation sometime. Webster's first free throw missed. Now listen, show you how physical this game's been, Spoon. You play with Webster, better lace him up. Banging, and more banging. Basketball is said to be a game of geometry, angles, decisions, veritable rhombus. But there isn't anything geometric when you play Matt Webster of Evansville. It's more the study of physics and the study of collisions.
That was not the prettiest sequence we just saw down there, but you got to give A for effort. And also, if you're Steve Murfeld, you're thinking we've got to stop, and that's good. Ooh. This is going to be the new side of Webster. This is the finesse side. Whoa, just about a turnover.
Boyle knows that Webster's headed to the basket, though, very soon. Evansville down 15, needing a bucket. Great steal. Mullins, who leads the league in steals, turned it over after he stole it. Mullins gets 3 steals a game. That's good for 9th in the country.
He's not the fastest guy, but we've talked about it before. He's very bright, and he knows and anticipates things. Here comes Webster.
Hansinger quick on the inbounds play.
One thing about guarding Webster, you don't have to worry about losing him. He's going to find you. He'll go as deep as he can go and find somebody. Boyle was sort of standing, waiting, and there he comes.
In this game, this is not the lane in here. It is the hard hat area. They need to put up that yellow, that yellow stripe around it. Boyle's leaving. He's got 4 fouls.
At least he doesn't have a bloody nose. The guy sitting next to his nose is still running.
There won't be enough ice in the Southern Illinois trainer's bag for these guys. Let's go to Tom Ackerman.
Mitch, you can't help but notice how young this Salukis team really is. Before Falker came on the floor, Chris Lowry was playing 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior, and now he has 2 sophomores, 2 freshmen on the floor. I asked Lowry recently, is he going into this thing trying to win the whole tournament, to get into the NCAA tournament? What are you thinking about the NCAAs? And he said, we're too young to think that way. Literally, we have to think about one game here. We just have too many young players. And he's been able to play the young players throughout the year. And if you've noticed today, the 2 experienced guys, Tatum and Young, have been able to step up and score.
It's an excellent point. They got off to a rocky start. They lost 2 of the first 3 games in the Great Alaskan Shootout. And then they went on a roll, 11 straight wins from December 3rd to January 14th. Then they had to kind of find a second win. It was a huge win in beating Northern Iowa on a last-second shot by Tony Young. But kind of an astute observation, I think, by Chris Lowry, Spoon, and not getting lost in the big picture with a young team like this.
Well, and he knows these kids really well. And he's tried to keep them focused. One thing he doesn't do, he doesn't let them get too full of themselves. Nobody gets too chesty. Carbondale.
I don't think he was allowed to do that when he played point guard for the Salukis, so he's not going to let that happen either. Mullins was called for the foul at second. Now, Salukis do have a bit of a problem here. They have 7 fouls to 3 for the Aces. And we've seen it before. When a team gets into the bonus this early, it's a great way to catch up.
That's what has happened. There's 4 points that have come with the clock not running. Now this press just caused a turnover. Falker got the turnover, but the reality was the ball shouldn't even have been thrown to him.
11-point lead for Southern Illinois.
Little zone action for Evansville right here.
Tatum and Young just loading up, ready to shoot over the zone.
Nice flow there. Again, dribbling out of a spot, filling a spot by the man behind.
Webster getting a rest right now, and the inside guys of Southern Illinois feel like it's a snow day at school. Anslinger hits a 3 to answer 3 for 3.
Anslinger hasn't had very many good open looks, and that was one there that came off of the dribble penetration.
You got to be careful to let him get going. 5th in the league in makes. He had 9 out of 10 on threes against Drake. A reminder, Valley Basketball is brought to you by Aeropostale, providing inspired, comfortable clothes at reasonable prices. Go to the website at aeropostale.com, providing scholarships through sponsorship. Southern Illinois, they've been on the national radar, 4 NCAA trips in a row. It's really impressive, Spoon. Only 6 teams in the last 5 seasons have more wins than Southern Illinois. And listen to this list: Duke, Illinois, Gonzaga, UConn, Pitt, and Kansas.
Pretty good company they're in right there, I'd say.
And they've done it with 3 different coaches. Weber handed it over to Painter, handed it over to Chris Lowry.
Back to man now for the Purple Aces.
Tatum goes well, hit a 3 against the zone. I'll shoot free throws against the man.
Pretty good option right there, driving at the basket.
Shy Eli picks up his 2nd foul.
Jamaal Foster is giving the Salukis some good moments tonight. He's been good on the board, trying to play on the defensive end. And now we're going to have a small mismatch, though. You've got 2 bigs in for the purple shirts and only 1 for the white shirts.
And a storm warning issued to the Southern Illinois bench because Matt Webster is back in the game. There he is. 20 points for Jamaal Tatum.
Well, the best way to keep trouble from happening on the inside is pressure on the outside, and that's what the Salukis have done a good job of all night.
Mullins has been in Holzinger's gym bag since the beginning of this game. Nice take, Eli, no finish.
Look out. Webster is now looking at camera people to ram into.
I don't think I'd even want to sit by him in class. You take the chair. I'm going to move over 2 rows.
For all the bumping, really big shot. For all the bumping that Webster does, he's a good basketball player on top of it. Look at that. Now he just established position, and they missed a chance to throw him the basketball there. He did a good job then. He buried his man low.
In all of this, Tatum is putting together a nice night. 23 points, Jamaal Tatum. We've seen him explode. He had 37 against Eastern Washington earlier this year. Webster runs the
Look at that.
How strong is Matt Webster?
And that's a pretty athletic play for a banger, I'll tell you for sure.
Arms and legs flying. Body parts. And Webster just strong enough to finish this. He'll shoot a free throw when we come back.
Lead for Southern Illinois, and time now for This Date in History, brought to you by the Renaissance Grand Hotel in St. Louis. March 3rd, 1981, 2-time Valley Player of the Year Lewis Lloyd of Drake connected on 22 of 26 free throw attempts in an 89-84 Bulldog win over Bradley. The Renaissance Grand Hotel St. Louis, the official St. Louis hotel of the Missouri Valley Conference.
Well, we've called him Drago, the snowplow, the bulldozer, but you know what? He ran the floor and made an athletic play to get a potential three-point opportunity.
That's the truth. Beats everyone down the floor on both teams. And then finishes the play here with the basket.
And a free throw. 12 points for Webster. At 29 against Western Illinois. If he was on the Hickory Huskers, they wouldn't have to worry about the picket fence so much. They'd have blown out South Bend Central in the finals.
He's getting a little blow here, but I have a hunch it's not going to last very long.
Foul was on Art Stahlbergs, the young Latvian, who played at Cowley County Community College in Arkansas City, Kansas.
Eli's quick enough to guard Tatum if he'll set his head to it.
Foster's got to be careful against Strickland. And Eli with the board.
And Eli can rebound and bring it himself and push it down.
Evansville about ready to sneak into this game.
Good help. Salukis have always helped well. They get good ball pressure, but people away from the ball pay attention. They know what's going on. You can see right there the lane is full of Salukis.
And there's a bonus basket. Art Stahlberg, who played for Randy Smithson at Cali, gets 2 points badly needed for the Aces. Mullins.
But now Mullins has got to hit his free throws.
Strickland has picked up the foul, and that is 4, Charlie, with 10-10 remaining in the game. 4 on Bradley Strickland.
Shaw jumped up to come in the ball game. No sooner did Matt Shaw do that than here comes the big fella Webster back in. I think he thought he was going to get to play a little bit without all that bumping.
You see him having to line up. I wouldn't want to line up in the next dot to him on the free throw. Tell what, guys, let's switch. I'll go over the other side. (46-33), 13-point lead for Southern Illinois. Holzinger, great look, elevating for the 3.
He doesn't look for that very often. I don't think that was the first time he's ever done it, though. That looked pretty good.
And got up on the shot. Played little ball in Indiana, 1A ball at LaPel, Indiana. Northeast of Indianapolis. They won the 1A title in Indiana. Holzinger, when Evansville signed him, people go, well, he was a small school star, little guy. He was the star of the Indiana-Kentucky All-Star Series. And you said it before, Charlie, the last guy to get recruited in February, everybody wants one.
That's exactly right. So, and everyone needs a point guard. That's the crazy thing is I don't know how come people have gone away so much from guys that think, because that's what you really have to have, somebody that understands the game.
You made a nice living with players that could think.
Well, someone had to.
Shaw's going to get a couple here. Again, he's 81%, and Rob there, he's 1 of 3. We saw him very good against Creighton, 20 points in the game, Carbondale, that we had. Salukis keeping Evansville at arm's length. Holzinger.
Oh my, that almost rolled in. Well, this is the point in the game that Holzinger is supposed to be tiring a little bit, and the Salukis are supposed to be fresher, and just almost the opposite looks the case. He's just going after things.
He's becoming more assertive. You can count these. He's 3rd in the league at 86% free throw shooting. 8 points all in the second half for Holzinger, and that's 4 in a row for him. Leading scorer among the newcomers in the league, averaging 12 points a game. I think he's a very good get for this Evansville team. I like him.
I think he's an excellent get. Look at him trying to organize things as he's walking off the floor. This is now under 10.
Southern Illinois has to be careful here. They've had a double-digit lead.
That's the bad thing. At the back of your press, you have to find a way. You're either going to be in the zone or the man, and you have to find a way to get into positions and get matched up because you can't afford that.
This is frustrating for Steve Murfield. He tried to sneak a few minutes in, bringing in some bench guys, 3 non-starters on the floor, and Young went right to the hoop. So that means Webster and Holzinger will come right back in the game.
That was not a very long rest.
No. Young's got 12. Tatum has 23. Tony Young has missed 3 free throws in this game. He is 3 for 6. This involve Webster again?
Surprisingly, yes. Here he comes. Now, you could almost make a case that had a little bit of an offensive look to it.
In the case of Jamaal Foster versus Matt Webster, Foster has pled self-defense. That's 4 free throws in a row for Matt Webster. Evansville has scored in their last 5 possessions, and they're within a 9-point deficit. Evansville 13 of 16 at the foul stripe for the game.
You almost think Matt Shaw needs to be a part of things here, but
crazy left-handed hook. Stallsburg was out of bounds and he tried to save it.
You get knocked down, it behooves you to get up. Shaw ought to have a match up there he could do some good with Stallsburg.
Foster. He'll get free throws. Evansville upset as Ainslinger turns at his teammates and go, how can we give that up on an inbounds play?
Mitch Foster continues to contribute good minutes. Falker's watching the ball game right now, sitting over the 3 fouls on him.
And don't you think if Southern Illinois is going to string 3 wins in 3 days, guys like Foster have got to be contributors?
You can't. Well, I shouldn't say you can't, but it's very difficult to do it when you're only playing 6 or 7 guys. You've got to be able to strengthen and lengthen your bench a little. We've become a tip-back league. This is unreal how many tip-backs we've seen.
Sign up for the Valley Tip-Back Clinic. It'll be in mid-June with Charlie Spooner.
Coming to a gym near you.
Shaw sealed on Holzinger. Has drawn the foul on the point guard. And the foul discrepancy I mentioned a few minutes earlier has been quickly wiped out. They're both at 10 now.
Purple Aces fight their way back into this thing and then can't get stops. Have to foul in order to get them. I'm trying to get them.
38 rebounds in this game for Southern Illinois. Holzinger going all the way to the goal.
I'm telling you.
He now has tied a freshman record at Evansville for scoring an initial season, a Division I Evansville record.
Gee, a little quick there on that shot. Gun was open, but I don't think that was probably the one they wanted.
Stallsburg with the offensive board. That's a deep three. And Mullins tells Young we'll slow it down this time.
I think he's passing on some advice from Chris Lowry there. That's the matchup I would have thought Southern, yeah, right there, that I would have thought Southern would exploit.
Well, they got somewhat of an exploitation. Stallsburg has 3 fouls. Holzinger trying to get his team back into the game. A good-looking freshman point guard for Evansville. 10-point lead for Southern Illinois. Checking our charter game reset. 4 timeouts remaining for the Salukis. Both teams in the double bonus. It's a presentation of Charter Communications, your one-stop entertainment provider for digital TV, high-speed internet, and telephone services. Call toll-free 1-888-GET-CHARTER. Look at Jason Holzinger and the all-freshman Valley team, 3rd in the league in assists. And Matt Webster. This looks like he could headbutt a guy at any minute. Shaw at the line. This throwing's been. Charlie, that's 10 missed free throws for the Salukis.
4 for 7 for Shaw. That's not very Shaw-like. Falker spent a good deal of time on the bench, Mitch, and you know, late in the game you don't need him so much, particularly on the offensive end, because he's not a good free throw shooter. There's Foster's going to get this foul.
Interesting to see what Chris Lowry has done. He just burned up fouls with Boyle, Foster, and Shaw on Matt Webster.
Fouled a little bit before. It's going to be a 2-shot foul anyway, but fouled a little bit before the shot ever got there.
What do they call those sticks? Pugil sticks or? You know, you put the helmet on, you go out and you get the sticks and you bang on each other. Pressure by Evansville. 9-point lead for the Salukis. Still 7:22 to go. Uh-oh.
Pressure has looked like it was going to bother the Salukis, but that's twice now they've taken advantage on the back end.
Webster. Nice save by Blakey.
Double team's a good idea. Let somebody else take some of the looks.
It's hard to send a guard down there, though. He may never come back alive. Eli missing.
You get a win tonight, you're going to earn it. See, there's just that shouldn't happen to you at the back of your press. It wasn't. The thing didn't last that long. It wasn't like people were scurrying all around.
Webster picks up the foul. And it's 2 shots for Matt Shaw. Scored 5 points in the game. All of them have been right there at the 15-foot free line.
Fouls have really inhibited Strickland's game tonight. He's spent more time watching than he has playing.
Well, he was good last night in the win over Illinois State, and it's been good over the past 4 games.
That's an interesting play there. Did they get Shaw going after his own rebound?
Yes, I think so. That's 4 on him. Chris Lowry going to go down. That's Rodney Watson. Where's your casualty list?
I think he said, wow, you don't hear that a lot.
Chris Lowry happy that Anslinger misses the free throw. He didn't do that often either. Anslinger 83%. In fact, had a clutch free throw to beat Indiana State. Evansville's had their moments. Good, strong finish to the season. Beat Purdue early this year, and Matt Painter's team last in the Big Ten, but there were over 11,000 fans at Roberts Stadium that saw it. And at that time, people thought, well, maybe the Aces got something going on. There's a tie-up arrow of Southern Illinois.
And you're taught to, when you catch the ball, catch, turn, face, swing the ball through. That time, the ball was over the head. That is not going to work.
However, Southern Illinois with the good fortune of having the arrow pointed toward Little Egypt. They'll keep it up 11 at 6:29 remaining in the game. Another offensive board.
Slow down a little bit, as Chris Lowry's thought. Strickland's almost gone, Mitch. That was almost the 5th foul there.
We still have 6:12 to go in this game, and Southern Illinois has 41 rebounds.
Well, they've been active. They've gone after the basketball, and it hasn't been just one or two people. It's been more than that. It's been everybody that's been an interior player.
And they're right around 20 offensive rebounds. There's your boards. Big advantage for Southern Illinois to get half those on the offensive end. Tony Young snuck in the back door.
Design play right there and executed very well.
13-point lead for the Salukis. Not won Arch Madness since 1995. They won 3 in a row under Rich Herring. Lowry on 2 of those teams. Tough shot, Eli.
Don't enjoy body contact, you wouldn't really enjoy this game. This thing just seems to stay around 11, doesn't it?
Yep.
No matter what happens, it stays around 11 points.
You give credit to Southern for that. 5 to shoot now. Tatum. Guess what?
Falker just back in the game. Another offensive rebound. Southern crowd very appreciative, as well they should be.
Falker smartly brings it out. Southern Illinois can burn up another 15 seconds of clock.
You mentioned that at the half. Falker just plays to win. He's not worried about numbers.
It's refreshing, Spoon. I'm just telling you, it's refreshing the way he plays.
He gets hit pretty hard right there. Doesn't say anything, doesn't make faces, just goes to the line.
You know, kind of used to be a non-scorer, but he went through a stretch. He had 5 double-doubles in a 7-game stretch. That hadn't been done since the great Marcus Timmons. If he could just figure out a way to hit these free tosses, he would have a pretty good package to take to work every day.
He's getting better. He's out. He really is better. The shot is so much better, and he's around the goal on all of them.
Second in the league in offensive rebounding. If you haven't watched the league much and you watch this game, you know why. Their coaches say is shooting and chasing. He's going to run it down.
Well, that's effort. That's what that amounts to. Southern still defending.
Holzinger robbed on a 3. Falker with another rebound. You know, he played against Paul Millsap's Falker and Bracket Buster, the leading rebounder in the country the last 3 years, a kid from Louisiana Tech. Did you see his quotes? He said, hey, rebounding, it's effort. Nothing secret about it, nothing tricky.
Don't need a whole lot of drills.
Nope. Go get it. Go get the ball.
Not trying to keep Dr. Tom from selling his rebounding tapes because his team rebounds too.
Young.
Falker. He got it on the second hop. That wasn't his first touch of the ball. That was the second.
Good chin up. There's your Valley. Leader in steals.
Double team. Man away from the ball. Reads it. Runs through the passing lane. And all of a sudden it's 16 points and close to 3 minutes. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
You know, he's got enough sass in him.
Moxie?
Yeah, Moxie. I don't think.
That was, I'm telling you, oh, there's a double team again.
I don't think he grew up making doilies with the ladies guild. He heard all those people cheering, going crazy, and it's like, I'm just going to rise up and hit a deep three.
Here's the good drive at the basket, a hard drive. There's a little tap of the ball. There's one tap. Whoops, might have touched the rim a little. Get back up. Two taps, Mitch.
He almost, yeah, watch this. He's going to do a chin up on with using the.
I thought he had the rim, but he doesn't. He's just up there by the rim.
It's a heck of a play now. This is one of the better plays we've seen all year.
That really is.
And watch it from this angle. You know, I thought he grabbed the rim.
I did. That's how I thought he did that. There's touch of the ball, maybe. There's one. No. Now look at it. He just bounces, doesn't he?
He's going to need his own bobblehead night before he's done. That was a bobblehead play. 62-49, 3:07 remaining in the game.
He's worked on that left hand so much that he's exceptional with it. That may be his strong hand right now.
It is hard not to just absolutely admire what this kid has turned into. And kind of a story in this league. You get a guy that's kind of under-recruited. These guys get coached up, turn into complete players, and all of a sudden you've got a good team that can beat people anywhere, any place.
Right now, Southern's going to run some clock. Under 3 minutes. Nice screen. Oh, nice drive.
Big night for Tatum. 25 points, Jamaal Tatum.
Southern needs, if they're going to go further in this tournament, they really need him to play with.
Southern's got the mojo back. 2:36 remaining.
They're not enjoying that little fellow, though. I'm telling you, that's a very, very good freshman.
He's got spunk, Spoon. I like spunk. Southern Illinois up 15 with 2:36 to go. Let's announce our State Farm players of the game. For Evansville, Jason Holzinger, Spoon.
He just refuses to let them get put out of this ball game. He hit a three from so far out, Mitch, a minute ago, and he's been driving the ball to the basket. He hasn't got the assists I thought he would have. That's probably the only thing that's been a downer for him in this ball game.
Jamaal Tatum for Southern Illinois.
Just a great night, and if he continues to play like this, then Southern gets a little more consideration.
Holzinger, rare miss, had made his first four. Again, 86%, third in the league. Shaw back in. Our State Farm players of the game, a presentation of State Farm Insurance, the presenting sponsor of this tournament. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. If you're an Evansville fan, I think there's reason to start getting excited again about hoop at Roberts Stadium, and that little guard is probably the main reason. If I'm an Evansville fan, I like him driving a car the next 3 years.
I think so too. I think he's only gonna get better. The traps are coming right now. Salukis are handling it a little better than they did the first time I saw it. Nice.
Foster's giving this team good minutes. That's 9, Spoon. That ties his career high that he had in the early part of the season against Alaska Anchorage.
Well, he's in the games that we've had lately, Mitch, he hasn't been much of an issue. Hasn't been a factor at all. He comes in, gives a little bit of time and rest people, but he has not played like he has tonight. He's rebounded the ball, tried to defend, and he's been a force offensively.
And he's been able to finish some plays. 4 of 7 from the field. This would be a new career high for the sophomore from Columbia, Missouri Hickman High School. First time he's been in double figures in his Saluki career, and the Salukis up by 18 with 2 minutes to go.
Aggressive play. Salukis aren't going to just be passive. They ended up doubling the ball in and forcing the turnover.
The Egyptian Dogs are barking loudly on the banks of the Mississippi River. They're headed to the semifinals. Southern Illinois, this will be their 20th win, Spoon. They have an RPI of 42. They are 6-4 against the top 50 this year. Only 9 other teams in the country have more top 50 wins than Chris Lowry's Salukis.
Well, they've been a little bit under the radar. Now all of a sudden they've been moving themselves up, and if they continue to get the play they have from Tatum, if they can get the interior play from more than just Falker, if more people will step up.
Wesley Clemens, a 48% free throw shooter, fires in 2. It is a 20-point lead for Southern Illinois. 90 seconds to go. Ainslinger not near enough of those. He's got 11. Kyle Smith-Peters is in the game now for Southern Illinois.
Close. That would have been a hard one to foul out on for Strickland.
Evansville surrendering here, not fouling. Defending the shot clock, down 17. Smith-Peters, if he scores, this place goes crazy.
And he earned it. Look at that one.
I'm telling you, look out for Jason Holfinger the next 3 years in the Valley.
He needs to work on his range a little. That's only about a 28-footer.
71-55.
Quite a few people made the trek over from Carbondale.
They got a big alumni base in St. Louis. They're going to be here in force tomorrow. They play the winner of Northern Iowa and Missouri State. Webster. Game over. Hard fought, physical win for Southern Illinois. They have their mojo back, Spoon. Look out for the Salukis.
I agree 100%. Tomorrow night's ball game, whoever they play, somebody's going to get guarded, Mitch.
It's time now for our Rawlings play of the game. There are press breaks, and then there are press crushers.
That's the one we talked about that probably shouldn't happen. There hadn't been that much movement. Good idea. Look up the floor. Not a whole lot of guards do that, and we saw 2 very good freshman guards in this game tonight.
Did you see who made that pass? Bryan Mullins.
Freshman guards. There's 2 of them, 2 guys that have an idea about what they're doing, and they make their team better.
Bodes well for the future for these 2 schools. Southern Illinois at the victory. A Rawlings play the game, a presentation of Rawlings, the official athletic equipment of the Missouri Valley Conference. Coming up next, this could be the best game of the day. Number 3, Missouri State against number 6, Northern Iowa. They had 2 great games during the regular season. Southern Illinois has advanced. The Salukis 20 wins and RPI in the upper 40s. They move on. For Charlie Spoonard, stay tuned. More Arch Madness coming your way.